to the show. Welcome to the show. Donna. And now, here's Melody and Mark Henny Dreadful.
And Richard Halpern.
And Richard
Wow.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys had a great week, and it's going to get better now because we have Richard Halpern with us.
Oh, stop it. Just stop. Stop.
It's Hope, Halpern Part 2.
I'm going to turn the sound up here. Wait, hold on. There we go. Okay.
Okay. I must tell you, first of all, I didn't get to meet with the Nervous Vulcan this week. I had a really bad day that day, so with everything going on, I couldn't get down there. But we are going to do it on her birthday. This is my friend Joanne, who was one of 2 people or 4 people, I think, who got picked for a cameo on in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yes, we don't say extra.
Yeah.
We say they had a cameo.
Yes.
Thank you, Melody.
Right. And she was in the front row, and she only went to the audition to be with a friend who was auditioning. She was not going to try out. And they came right over to her. I knew this was going to happen. Grabbed her and said, "You're a Vulcan." And she said, "No, I'm not." And anyway, she, bless her heart, she was terrified, but she went through with it.
Well, that's not if she tried out. That is a cameo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I take it all back. I take it back, Joanne. Joanne, I take it back. You weren't an extra. You had a cameo if you had gotten that part, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they made. I think they were just wanting to see if they'd be, calm enough to speak lines into a camera. But of course, they didn't have to speak lines, and Shatner, on top of which, didn't show up to meet any of the people who were doing that, and I think the best they got was Koenig. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So of course he's a friend of Mark, so I guess he's a special person.
Yes.
Anyway, now let's hear about your OG Dark Shadows meetup with for the Todd Tarantula premiere.
Okay.
With your friend Ansel Faraj and my friend. He doesn't know it, but he is. Was behind and starring David Selby. And,
yes, it was absolutely wonderful. And it's a very stylized film. It's shot in some sort of a neon, it looks like a comic book. And that was on purpose because he wanted this to be like a graphic novel and an anime of some sort. So each scene is almost like a panel and there's borders on, but I mean, that's the way it was filmed. And from what I've heard, it was picked to be in an upcoming film festival, independent film festival in downtown. I don't know if it's next month or the month. I was overjoyed to hear that. And David Selby, I'm sorry, what, Melody?
I said fantastic. Go
ahead. Yeah. And David Selby was wonderful. He was so good. I sat in front of him, and Chip, his wife, when it was over, I said, David. That was so good. And, he's such a nice man. Everybody was nice, that we saw. So let's see. And it was at the Los Feliz 3, which is not far from here, which always hosts Ansel's films. And it's very nice of them to do that. And who showed up? Let's see. David showed up. Catherine Lee Scott showed up. Her boyfriend, Patrick. They're both authors. Now he got something published. Sam Irvin was there. Ansel's parents were there. I was there too, dude. I was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go-Go Boy Jake was there as well, and yeah, and a lot of the fans, some of the fans were there, and the cast of the film, Nathan and this new young man, Ethan Walker. He's Todd Tarantula, and I guess this is his first film. And he was really good. Yeah, I think he's done theater before. I can't be sure. But this was like his first movie. This is what Ansel said. He was very nice. And yeah, and everyone who was there was great. And it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful film. I just hope it promotes and promotes. And I think it's going to be streaming soon, probably on Amazon Prime. And when that happens, then we can promote that, because that's the masses, whoever subscribes to that. Or I think you can just watch it without being a member if you pay for it. I'm not sure, but maybe that's the case.
I'm sure it'll be available somewhere.
Yes, streaming. And it should be, because it's really good. And I told him, go to Comic-Con, go to WonderCon. WonderCon is coming up. And I said, I think it's March, and that's down in Anaheim. That's not too far away. And I said, call the people putting on the WonderCon and send them some material, and try to get that film played there, because those people would love it, and maybe you could do a panel or something. So that was a suggestion that I made to him and to, I think, Elise. Was it Elise? Who's the Kelly? I'm sorry, Kelly, who's helping to promote, and she's in the film as well. So yeah, let's look when it comes out. Todd Tarantula, remember that name, Todd Tarantula, and I think they filmed some of it in Greystone. All right, how they got that? They were inside Greystone. Maybe they snuck in. I mean, like when we did Baby Dark Shadows, we're outside, and we walked. This is a public park. That's a public park. So we did it, and we're real quiet, and my niece is going, London Bridge is falling down. We're hoping nobody yeah, so we didn't get kicked out. That was good. So, but no, Todd Tarantula, Ansel Faraj, go see it. David Selby, fantastic.
Oscar worthy.
Yes, and Oscar worthy. And dude, you're not making me an Oscar. You're not going to paint me gold. Stop interrupting.
Oh, yeah. We were just doing pirate earlier.
We were trying to figure out how to pronounce the movie Tar. And I looked it up, and it's basically pronounced Tar.
Tar. Argyle.
We couldn't find any pirates to hire to do that for us. So
we're Scots Irish, and we can't roll the R's. So
it's Tar. I can't believe it. It's Tar, my dear.
There you go.
Yes.
I think that's why our people left.
Oh, hey, listen. I know about 3 or 4 Captain Jack Sparrows. They're all in the pirate groups. So next time you do that, let me know. I'll give you some phone numbers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I know there's one that works at Disneyland that it looks just like them.
Yeah, there's some good ones. There's some really good ones. Maybe it was really him. Maybe it was really him, because he showed up. You see that video? He showed up and was in the ride, and then they came by and goes, listen, I was just telling you all day. I was just, and everybody's flipping out because it was really.
Yep. I've seen that one. That's cool. But Johnny, I understand was it. Somebody said that he was ranked the 2nd most famous person in America.
Great. Am I the most famous one? So he's right under me. Wow. Come on, Johnny. You got to catch up, baby. You got to catch up to me 2nd. Oh, Melody. She left.
Hang on.
Wow. Okay. Now Melody's on the other side.
No, Mel's still on this side.
No. Did I
Mark,
say Penny Dreadful and I should have said Fan Flak?
That's okay. We answer to anything.
Call us whatever
Mark?
you want. Just don't call us late for tea.
Exactly. If you have not seen it, I must say, before we get to the Oscars, on YouTube there is video of Benedict Cumberbatch at that Letters Live event they did, where they all read funny,
tweets,
letters.
the tweets.
Yeah. Well, no, not
mean tweets.
These are actual letters that people wrote, and they're real letters. And he wrote one about a fellow who went to a corporate convention with lots of gifts for his new workmates. He was a new job. And Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm okay. Here. I was trying to do something and it blew my system up, and I went away for a minute.
That'll teach you. Don't touch anything. Don't touch it. It'll my friend Nigel came here to stay with me. The spectrum internet is fine. The trouble is the AT&T, as always. So he almost knocked down the modem. I said, Nigel, oh my God, if that goes off, that's the end. We'll never get it back. So,
yeah, AT&T is.
Now I'm trying. Since I went to the trouble of doing that, I'm trying to finish getting this so I can do what I wanted to do with it.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, Melody, finish the story. He wrote a story. Oh, so this is not mean tweets. This is something else.
No.
So go ahead.
This production they do called Letters Live, where people they always drag in very famous actors to do this. And I'm sure that they do it like in 5 minutes when they have time and that kind of thing. But anyway, Cumberbatch was reading this letter from a fellow who had, again, arrived at this corporate convention, and he had brought gifts of pepperoni from an area in Ontario that was very, very well known. So he packed his suitcase full with pepperoni. And of course, that was the bag that they lost on the plane. So they found it finally, and he was concerned about it being not good. So he left it in his hotel room with the window open and the air conditioning up. And he opened up the suitcase so it could breathe, and he went for a walk. Well, a couple hours later, when he came back, he heard a fluttering sound inside his room, and he got the key out and opened it up. And his hotel room was full of seagulls. And he said that pepperoni does mad things to the gastric system of seagulls, because it was horrendous.
Oh my God.
Is it between the shit and the pepperoni? Oh yes, I know, bad word.
You kissed your mother with that mouth?
Yeah, actually, I did. And feathers and suffice to say, he was banned permanently from the hotel.
Yeah.
Was that the name of the band?
Yes, permanently.
Yeah, feathers and doo-doo. Feathers and doo-doo. That's what, some of these dance clubs, some of these strip clubs, that's what's in the dressing room is feathers and, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the good one.
No. Let me show you what it was I was trying to do here.
Okay, be careful.
I think it'll work this time.
I think it'll work. Hear that melody? I think it'll work. Okay, let's hope and pray.
Well, it won't work because I have to delete one of the things and I forget it.
Yeah, it'll be me. I'll get deleted.
No, it was a picture. It was a picture from the tarantula movie, but I'm only allowed to have.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. You're lucky. The iPad is right here because it's going to be used to.
Hold on.
Because see, I'm only allowed to have 10 slides at once, and there just happens to be 10 Academy Award Best Picture nominees that I have photos for in there.
Okay, well, hold on. I know the picture you're talking about, and we are going to find it, and we're going to show it. All righty. Don't worry. Keep talking. Keep talking.
It's the one off. It's the one off IMDb.
Oh, well, I'm on Facebook, so let me go to his Facebook. Okay.
I know
so here we
go. It's like a psychedelic looking picture with the guy looking back over his shoulder.
Yeah, here it is. Okay. Oh, I'll do it this way. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Let's see.
Todd.
Yep.
Tarantula.
That's the picture.
And you know who designed this poster?
Who's that?
Stuart Manning, our friend Stuart from England. Yeah.
Very cool.
So look at that. We'll go closer this way. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this is the. Well, we'll do it this way. Actually, we'll do it this way. Then you can see it easier.
There you go.
Now, is the film similar to Sin City? Then
I didn't see Sin City, but I think it is. So
because Sin City is done like that. It's supposed to be a video comic book.
Okay, well maybe that's it. This is Ethan Walker as Todd Tarantula, and then I think where's David? David's right here in the green. That's David Selby right there, and Douglas Eames is in this. He has a really nice part. He plays the father. Where are you, Doug? Come on, Doug. Doug, there's Douglas Eames right there.
Yeah.
And Nathan Wilson is there. Where are you, Nathan? There, he's here. There's Nathan. And I think that's. Oh, and here's then the girls are on this side. The ladies are on this side somewhere. Anyway, you can see this. I guess you can see this on the IMDb and Ansel's Facebook, Ansel's Instagram. Just type in the Ansel, ANSELFARAJ on either one of those. IMDb, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know about, and these new ones, Stitchy and Pluto and Grinding and Wahuska. You know, I don't know any of these other ones, but they probably all had Snap Face or whatever. Yeah, maybe they're all
remember, TikTok is China.
It's China. It's China.
Well, it contains.
It's China. It's the Kung Flu. That's not racist at all. That's not racist. No, I've never done anything bad. Oh no, I've never done anything bad. Look at my fingers. What do you think? I'm not saying okay. You know what that? No,
it's China. It's breakable.
China. Oh, that kind of China. It's breakable. It's breakable China. The best China in the industry. You hear? I can't even say words. Industry. Don't get started.
What's bad with TikTok is they have a keylogger built into the app.
Yeah, I know.
And it tracks your bank statements and everything.
But you really have to do that.
Yeah,
they can do it. Believe me.
Well,
it stays in the background on your phone, and it just tracks everything you do.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm in big trouble though.
That's why TikTok is not good to have on your computer.
Well, I have it on the iPad. That's not really a computer. And the cell phone.
As long as you don't do any banking on your iPad, you'll be fine.
No,
I do some banking on it, but you got to go in, but I close out of the app. I don't keep them apps open. I'm only usually on one app at a time.
No, the app doesn't have.
I'm sure.
Oh, Mark, my God, all right.
Yeah.
You don't help it.
Don't die on the air, Mark.
Okay.
Please. If you die on the air, my friend Bert Kearns will write about it. He has a book. Bert Kearns, Jeff Abrams. It's called The Show Won't Go On. And it's about famous people who drop dead on stage, on the TV, on the, in a talk, famous people that dropped dead. And
I know there was somebody died on the Dick Cavett show.
Yeah, a couple of people.
Yeah.
But literally.
Hey,
yeah.
Dick Cavett died a few times. Come on.
Yeah.
And not always look at the jokes.
I know two famous people I was reading about recently. Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
Died on stage.
Yeah.
And Irene Ryan, that played Granny on Beverly Hillbillies. She died on stage.
Really? I heard Tiny Tim. I never heard about Irene Ryan.
Yeah, she died on stage.
Dick Shawn died on stage.
I know, and they thought it was part of the act.
Yeah.
Well, funny, I saw Dick Shawn one time. We were driving around Hollywood showing out-of-town guest Hollywood, and this car pulls up next to us. It was a Cadillac convertible with a ladder sticking up out of it, and Dick Shawn was driving it.
I'm coming, Mama. I'm going to get that, Mama.
And that same...
Mama, I'm going to be there soon, Mama. Yeah, the same car.
This is what, to show you how different it was back then. We also saw Farrah Fawcett jogging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jogging. Wow, she must have had two black eyes.
And we went to Farmer's Market, and the guy that played Dr. Zorba on Ben Casey.
Yeah.
I forget his name. That real frizzy
Sam Jaffe.
Sam Jaffe.
Yeah.
Sam Jaffe. Hey, Jeopardy. We could be on Jeopardy.
Sam Jaffe and Margaret and Eddie from Zachary All, the clothing store, we're all sitting having lunch together at Farmer's Market.
It's so random.
I bought tuxedos from Zachary All.
Now, I want to know how Eddie from Zachary All ended up at the same table with Aunt
because
Margaret
the store is his store was right there on Wilshire.
Okay.
And he said, look, there's a show on television. It's called You Asked For It. Well, you did ask for it. We got tuxedos. We got suits. We got all kinds of stuff. We got longs. We got shorts. We got portly longs. We got cadet. Any suit you want. And I bought a couple of tuxedos from them. And I also bought some from C&R, which stands for cheap and raggedy.
And raggedy.
But they're gone too.
I remember C&R. Now,
Me too. But listen, I still have the tuxedos that I bought from Zachary All and C&R. And I'm just kidding that they're not crummy. They're very nice. I still have them, and they're 100 years old. And then I have a suit. The pants I'm going to wear tonight are 100 years old.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I got vintage pants to go with the what do you call the waistcoat, the jacket, and the vest and the tie, and the shirt is modern, but it's made by Brooks Brothers. So the collar comes off. You have a celluloid collar, and it's got a little piece, looks like a Monopoly piece. You put it in the back, and then you stick it, and then the one in the front, you put the shirt, and so if you tune in, I don't know who's watching this live, but if you're live, this is Sunday, the 29th of January, and I'll be live on Instagram tonight at 7 p.m. West Coast, 10 p.m. East Coast on my Instagram, RIC Halpern, RIC Halpern. So you can tune in live, and if you miss it live, it's going to be up there. So I'm sure Melody will have the and my TikTok, which I'll have a few things on, is The Real Richard Halpern.
Yes.
Right.
As opposed to the fake one. Now,
the fake one, listen, he gets more work than I do.
Yeah. It's very fun. I must tell this small story, and then we'll get to Oscars. My grandson, by the way, is doing very well. He had a grand mal seizure yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
He's a boxer, and apparently that and a family history in one of his relatives of epilepsy leads them to think that what caused this. But he bears a rather stunning resemblance to Julian Lennon. And they brought him into the hospital, and the first thing he heard was, "Is that Julian Lennon?" "I think it is." And he's laying there wondering if he's going to die. And, and his mother is just beside herself. And these people are coming over going, "Could you sign this?" And he signed it, "Not Julian Lennon. Go away."
What? No, he signed it, Melody. He signed it. They walk away. They read it. They turn back. "You're not Myrna Loy." What's that from? Do you know what that's from?
No, I don't.
Oh, Inside Daisy Clover.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
some of these people watching, I know, are film, know every line. Inside Daisy Clover. "You're not Myrna Loy." I know Ansel. Ansel will know this. So go ahead.
I was online chatting with Kim last night for a couple hours, and we were talking about Los Angeles television,
Yeah.
especially Larry Vincent.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Larry Vincent, Richard?
I came out here when I was 11, so I didn't have any of the. I knew Skip and Woofer. I remember Skip and Woofer. I remember Tom Hatton with the KTLA. And you know what?
I met Tom Hatton. He went to my school and drew pictures of Popeye.
Yeah, well, I met him too, and I saw him in Annie. He always played Roosevelt and Annie. From watching that show, I know how to draw Popeye because I watched, and I told him that we'd see him in the supermarket at the Gelson's in on Santa Monica Boulevard. He was a very, very nice man, as I'm sure you must know, Mark.
Well, he was real nice at our school. He had us come up on stage and draw a squiggly line, and then he turned it into a cartoon. And he hosted Popeye on Saturday mornings for years here. Larry Vincent was more well known as Seymour. Fright Night.
Okay, Larry Vincent. You know who his daughter is?
Mm-mm.
Diane Vincent, who is one of the top now she is the Lucille Ball impersonators, tribute artists.
Yep.
And that title was held for years by Suzanne LaRouche. No one ever equaled Suzanne LaRouche. No one ever will equal Suzanne LaRouche. But Diane's a friend of mine, and her mother was a jazz pianist. And when she was in a home and she had dementia, but she could still play the piano and sing. And Diane has a lot of videos of her doing that, and she just passed away, sadly. And Diane still posts the videos of her mom. Her mom was great. I think it was, what's her name, Betty? I could be wrong. It was Betty. But their dad was Seymour. Yep.
Yeah, they have the two daughters had a documentary made about their dad.
All right, then that's probably her.
Yeah. Seymour was great. Elvira stole her entire shtick from him and Mona Lisa.
And
Mona Lisa? You mean Vampira? Or Mona Lisa? There's another one, Mona Lisa.
Yeah, she was the one that first wore the real low cut black outfit, was Mona Lisa. And then Elvira had a little more to put into the outfit than Mona Lisa did. Well, she was Elvira's was in Playboy.
Yeah.
I'm not to say she still looks good.
She was a redhead. She was in
she's still.
I forget her real name now.
Cassandra Peterson.
Yeah. And she was in The Girls of the Midwest. which was this thing they used to do in Playboy. Then go to a college and take a bunch of pictures of co-eds, and she was one of the co-eds. It was in that.
Yeah,
not far from me.
Oh, good. I think I met her a couple of times. She's really nice. She loves Paul Rubens. She's one of the best things about Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
She's there, and she still looks really good. I think she still does Elvira at things.
Paul Rubens, the best thing I ever saw Paul Rubens in was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie. A lot of people don't even know he's in it. He played the main bad guy vampire's sidekick.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He was great.
Wow.
Far better than anything else I've ever seen him in. He was really good.
He's a good actor.
He's a very good actor. See, if you're going to be a good comic, usually all the good comics are good dramatic actors. Like Milton Berle was a great dramatic actor. Gleason was a great dramatic actor.
Robin Williams
was and then it's Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Did you see him in Punch Drunk Love? That's another Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Yeah. He was fantastic in that. So a lot of these people that are comics do really. Rip Taylor.
Yeah.
What was it? The Proposition, where he with Robert Redford wants to sleep with, was it Demi Moore or whatever? And he's a real estate agent, and he's not. Couldn't you talk? No, he's. Well, anyway, I said this, and I just played a straight up role. It was great.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, those are probably only people of our age group will remember.
This would be a good opportunity.
In 1906, he was the funniest man in the world, but he was a great dramatic actor. But
this would be a good chance to segue into the Academy Awards.
Oscars.
Let's do the Oscars. All right, bring it on.
Reading a note from someone going, we're discussing Oscars.
All right, bring on the Oscars. I have my own Oscar. This is my Oscar. They're going to paint him gold no matter what he says.
I have only seen one of the nominees for Best Oscar, and it really disappointed me. And that was
what was it?
All Quiet on the Western Front. It's so choppy. I couldn't keep track of what they were trying to get across.
Stick with the James Whale version. Stick to what they know. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, the title to the movie was in German. So this is not a foreign film. At least it isn't in the category of foreign films. So, but all the people were speaking English, so I really couldn't tell what was going on. Avatar, I've heard Avatar isn't that spectacularly good from the people that I know that have seen it.
Well, it struck me, whenever you see the word water in the title.
Like Waterworld?
Like The Shape of Water, which has got to be the worst movie to ever win an Oscar.
What was the other one? Water for Elephants or something?
Yeah,
water for chocolate. Hey, you know what about that? Melody, you mentioned The Shape of Water.
Yes.
Well, check this out. It takes place in 1962 in October, and it goes over my birthday. Well, I was actually born, and they have the day of the week. And they did their research. That's the most remarkable thing about that movie. Oh, my birthday, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God! On your birthday.
Well, it was like the 13th, 14th, and the days of the week. So, and it was absolutely correct.
Well, good for them for that. However, having the woman boink a crustacean, I was, I knew I was onto something with my reaction when I saw Ozzy Osbourne on a show, the one he does with his kid who does the ghost stuff. And Ozzy Osbourne said, "What was that awful movie we saw?" The Shape of Water? What was that? It's not just me.
But anybody that wants to see the Best Picture nominees, you can see All Quiet on the Western Front on Netflix if you want to. Avatar, however, Disney insists that you see it in the theater.
Yeah.
The Banshees of Inisherin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's on HBO Max.
I saw that one. Okay, HBO Max.
As is Elvis. Elvis is
I saw that too.
Now, let me ask you, Richard.
Please.
Those of us who are old enough to remember Elvis, especially the young Elvis.
I'm not a young Elvis, but remember.
I can remember the young Elvis. I have a hard time watching these movies and believing the actor as Elvis because it's not Elvis. You know, the best one I ever saw was Bubba Kahotep.
Yeah.
That was the best Elvis.
That was the best. Hey, Mark, I'll tell and Melanie, I'll tell you something. You know, I'm in the tribute artist industry.
Yeah.
I've seen every GD Elvis in the good, the bad, the ugly, the best. I want you all listening out there in whatever this is land, computer land. Donnie Edwards. Google Donnie Edwards Elvis. Or go on YouTube, Donnie Edwards. That is the best. We did a show together and he was rehearsing. I got chills. He looks like him. He sounds it was amazing. And like I said, I know who's good. I know who's not so good. I know who's bad. Donnie Edwards, Elvis. Are you Elvis fans out there? You tune that in. Now, Mark, what you said, you didn't believe him as Elvis. But the guy looked nothing like him. He looked nothing like him. I mean, he had the hair. He had kind of the voice. I don't know if that was really him singing or not. I don't know. Maybe someone out there is going to put it on the chat if it was really him singing. Gladys looked great. I don't know what Tom Hanks was doing. I have no idea what that was. And I'm confused by the complete thing. And everybody seems to give him a Razzie for that. So I'm not sure. I really didn't, you know. So, but I did like the film. And as I say, for someone who didn't look anything like him, he sounded, he did. I kind of bought it. It's just like Michelle Williams when she did, not Michelle Williams. I'm sorry. Renee Zellweger was Judy Garland. She looks nothing like Judy Garland. She doesn't sound like Judy Garland. So this is obviously like a play that they're going to do where she doesn't sound like her. So people are going to buy that. So what they should have done is either get someone who sounds like Judy, like Debbie Wildman in England sounds exactly like her, to dub the voice or play the tracks to her. But I guess they wanted just to have it real and have her do her thing. And she won an Academy Award for that. So yeah, it's the same type of a thing. You got to cut a little slack and figure out, well, what are they doing with this? Why did they cast this young man? Maybe it is his energy. Maybe, you know, I've never heard of him before. I'm sure he's done other things. Wasn't he in all the Quiet? No, he's in. There's another one he's in about the war.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he was in The Dead
He
Don't
was.
Dude. Never even heard of that.
Dude,
Where's My Car?
No,
he would have been a child. He was in Dude, Where's My Car?
No.
He must have been a little kid.
No.
That movie's 100 years old.
Well, you know, the best picture category is really kind of narrowed down.
He's listed as a credit on the soundtrack.
You know,
wow.
You know, none of the sci-fi movies are going to win Best Picture.
No.
There's
never did.
Never, even Star Wars didn't win Best Picture.
Well, didn't need to. Look at all the money. That thing generated more money than any of them Best Pictures. Look at Adam Lambert. He was the best one on that show, and he lost. He's the one with the career. This other one, none of them have the career that he has. Well, maybe Kelly Clarkson, who was the first, and a couple of the others do something, but not Adam Lambert. So you don't have to win the prize to be the best. Charlie Chaplin entered the Charlie Chaplin contest and lost.
Yeah.
He lost. But hey, Mark, I wanted to say to you, and the best actor performance that I saw was Brendan Fraser in The Whale, and the best makeup. That was fantastic performance, fantastic makeup. I think he's going to win. We'll see if somebody watching this show after the Oscars, let me know if I was right or not. But it was that. Did you guys see that? Mark, did you see it? Melody,
no, I haven't seen it yet. I saw Brendan Fraser in his comeback role, which is in that TV series Doom Patrol, where he plays the robot. And
he played with a Stetson hat.
We played he ended up being a robot.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah, he gets killed and they put him into a robot. But then he keeps appearing as himself in different segments. And you can see he's put on a little weight, but they made him look like a whole lot of weight.
No, but Mark, that The Whale was a play first. I'm wondering who starred in the play, and was it makeup or was some giant person in it, like Gilbert Grape? What's eating Gilbert Grape? The mother was very heavy. She really was that heavy. And then after that film, she lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
But she served as an inspiration to people that are larger size. That, hey, you can do anything. That it doesn't make a difference if you this. Maybe it's a health thing, and that's the same thing in The Whale is a health issue. But look, there's big beautiful, there's little beautiful, there's medium beautiful. Come on, but
we're all.
If you guys haven't seen it, Melody, you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, Mark, you got to take him. Mark, you got to see it.
Okay.
And
especially, I wait for people to tell me that movies are good.
Okay, I'm telling you it's good.
I hate going and wasting my money. I've only one time in the history of going to the movies walked out of a movie. And that was a movie called Time Walker.
Walk out.
It
was time to be a walker out of the movie. I see what you did there.
The star of the movie was Ben Murphy.
Oh, God.
Ben Murphy, Roger Davis, or
Alias
all in the
Alias Smith and Jones.
Oh, the Alias Smith and Jones people.
And Peter Duell, who passed away.
They had a mummy. Apparently, it was from a prop house, and it was nailed to a wooden platform, and it had wheels under it.
Of course it did.
Movie, and every once in a while, you see the mummy wheel by.
Like this?
Yeah. Yep. Just like that.
Wow.
Obviously,
that looks better, actually. Yeah.
No footsteps. It was what I almost walked out on was The Island of Dr. Moreau with Marlon Brando.
Oh, that was great. Did you see him? He was amazing.
Well, I have to disagree.
Oh, he was like
the guy with the horns. The guy with the horns on his head. He was a great actor. That
whole movie was so bizarre.
That was the only thing that kept me in that theater.
Well, you've seen South Park, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a character in South Park based on Dr. Moreau, and he has this little person with him, and they think, who is that? That doesn't matter right now. But they took that Brando character, and he's part of the South Park universe.
Yeah. There's Mark and I long ago figured out we don't like the same kind of movies, because I'll recommend a movie to him and he'll come back and go, huh? And the reverse is also the case.
Right.
But I mean, Raising Arizona is a perfect example. It's a movie I love.
If you don't like
And
which one is the one that where they left the baby in the middle of the street?
Racing Arizona.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It had its moments.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Melody,
have you weird movies?
Oh, you want a weird movie? Have you seen Babylon?
Oh yeah. Oh,
also with Doug Eames. Doug Eames is in Babylon for 1 second.
Oh, is he? What does he play?
He's one of the people that runs up and does some makeup. He too had a cameo in that movie. He had a cameo, but you see him full on. But that's a very interesting. Mark, did you see that?
No, the only one of those movies I've seen is All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay, well, you got to get out and see some of these other ones. But this movie, it's so bizarre because some people hated it. Oh, 3 hours of my life, I'll never get back. My friend Jack Fields, Jack Fields. I've seen it twice. I love it. I saw it and I thought, you know what? This is a piece of. And then it gets good. Then it's got some horrible, horrible things in it. The music is supposed to be the 20s, and of course they have dun, 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 it's Baz Luhrmann. So
exactly.
That was awful. And the most interesting, but some of the scenes were really, they built. There's 2 scenes I'm talking about. I won't spoil anything, but one with Margot Robbie where she has to keep coming in. I don't say that was fantastic. And the scene, I won't say the name of the person who kind of surprises us in the middle, with the money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That reminded me of Boogie Nights, the Alfred Molina scene. It was that. So those are the 2 best. Hated Margot Robbie. She looked awful. She looked modern. She dressed modern. She talked modern. She did this, and I didn't like her character. I hate it. And yet, she gave a fantastic performance. She was so good in that, but I hated everything. I don't know what they were going. I think everybody was making a different movie, like Myra Breckinridge. You've heard the story?
Yes.
Raquel Welch hit it on the head. Well, the producer was making a different film than the director thought he was making. And Mae West was making a different film than I thought I was making. She thought it was good. So maybe that's the case with this. I'd love to talk to that director and ask him, what does that mean? Why did you do? Maybe there's an explanation. I don't know. I
want to know one thing.
Please.
What the hell is with the little guy on the pogo penis?
Listen, last year, there kept these casting notices kept coming out. Yeah. The big 1920s movie. That's all it said. It had all of these outrageous things they needed, and I thought, what the hell is this? They want, and then I saw this. I said, oh, that must have been that movie. I don't remember that scene. There was a lot of that debauchery in there. So and the best, my favorite, because was the tribute to Jolson and the jazz singer. That was fantastic. That was
I thought
great.
Of you when that was
but that was really good. I've seen it where they just pass over. This was good. This is, if you're a Jolson fan, you're gonna love this movie. And I tell people, don't not see it. Go see it and make your opinion. Hey, listen, I remember years ago that Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, somebody told me, oh, that's a stupid movie. Don't see it. It's awful. It's so horrible. Years later, it shows up on the cable. I watch it. I loved it. I said, what the hell? So I don't listen to people. Oh, it was so stupid. I hate it. I just go if I want to see it. So yeah, don't, go anyway. If they say, oh, it's crappy, go. Oh, it's great, go, even if you think it's crap. But yeah, I would say go see it, make your own opinion.
There was only one bad movie.
Which is what?
The one you haven't seen.
That's it, yes. The question you haven't asked.
Who said that?
Sam Goldwyn. Was it Sam Goldwyn? I don't know.
No, it was the other guy, Jack Warner.
Jack Warner.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Piss off James Dean when James Dean was digging their studio out of the grave.
Which he did.
Which he did.
So did Jolson. So did
Yeah.
Jolson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jolson saved that studio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised anybody had the guts to mention Al Jolson in the movie.
Well, it's interesting. What they did was concentrate on the first two songs he sang. Well, the first song he sings, he is white face, you know, and it was Dirty Hands, Dirty Face, and he kind of segues into Toot Toot Tootsie. Those are all him. And if you see, there's the marquee out front. This is minutia, but I know this because the marquee is exactly like the poster, but there's a picture of him with blackface. That's not on the marquee. They kind of show it at this angle. So listen, I'm glad they showed that because people think, oh, he's racist because they don't see this part of him that he wasn't, you know. Of course, now he's the post. Yeah, back then. But you know what? Today, of course, it was horrible back then. If you really want to, but this is how. See, these people were businessmen. These actors, these performers, they're like, we want to make some money. What do they want to see? You know, they want to see this. All right, damn it, we're going to do that. Even African American people were lacking, and in fact, there's that scene in, and I want to say, completely. No, he would never, ever have done that. And he wouldn't have done what he did himself. There would have been somebody doing it. And in fact, that would have been more effective if they had a white person doing what he was doing. You know, I don't want to get, but these people were interested in money, whatever was going to make them money. They weren't, oh, that's racist. Listen, we need to make money. We're going to do it. Everybody wants it. It was conventional then. Yeah. I'm not saying it was right. I don't think it's right. I think it's, you know, it's had its beginnings in the minstrels, and it was all a hateful propaganda, white supremacy thing. Gee, that's not happening today at all. I mean, I'm so glad it's gone. Anyway, but that's what it started in this horrible, and you want to see a scary ass movie, Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I cringed. Cinematically, it was groundbreaking. But that's film, pure propaganda, glorifies the Klan, makes fun. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It is.
No, in that aspect of it, it's horrible. I was flipping. They were flipping out back then. That's how bad it was. Even and D.W. Griffith, a housekeeper who adored him, she was African American. She named her son after D.W. Griffith. She changed his name after that movie came out, and she said, "How could you make a film like that?" So I'm telling you, if they were pissed about it back then, and with good reason.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. I saw a documentary a while back, and it was by the family of, I apologize, I don't remember the man's real name. He used to play a character called Stephen Fetchit.
Yes, that was Lincoln Perry.
Oh, thank you. And his family was talking about the fact that they were pretty much destitute because none of his work ever gets shown anymore. So they don't benefit financially from anything he did. And then they were talking about also the Song of the South.
Oh yeah, that's another one
and his family also. At one time they used to do pretty good financially from that film, but now they get nothing. And
well, that's what happens. And as far as Lincoln Perry, when he was doing this, he was this fashion plate, as was Bill Robinson, but yes, Lincoln Perry, just impeccably dressed. And they had a lot of money. Then, of course, I guess the money runs out and everything. And none of those people, they were very intelligent people.
Yes.
And they didn't go around with the dialect and that kind of thing. they were playing characters. And as I say, it was a business then. And there was a woman one time at the SAG meeting, this is 1,000 years ago. She came up and she spoke on behalf of Lincoln Perry and saying, he needs our help. So could we have the members of the guild could donate something to this man who was a big name back then, and now he's forgotten because it's racist and this. But yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that the fact that they're doing it and they don't show it because, well, look at Gilligan's Island. They don't get residuals anymore, those people. And so a lot of those people, the Dark Shadows people, they don't get residuals.
Oh, no.
They don't get any money off of this MT.
Not
I hope they do. They should. But yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, let me give you an example of something firsthand that I experienced. Giving an example of, you see somebody on stage who's absolutely this, but this in real life. There was a comic back in the 80s and 90s. His name was Big Ed. He was big, heavy-set guy, bald head. He had these weird glasses and a little hat on his, played all the gay clubs, and he played the piano, and he had the microphone, and he'd go, boom, 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 and his act was like this, like, oh, honey, and Brad Kay said, oh my God, plutonium suppository. That's this guy was so over the top and crazy. He opened a club with some partners in Beverly Hills. It was called Backstage of Beverly Hills. I played there. I had a night there, one night a week. Kenny Sasha was there. Michael Feinstein used to come in there. This is way, way back in the day. So Big Ed had gone out on the road and he came back. I didn't have too much interaction with him until he came back from his tour, and the other partner was a moron and ruined a lot of stuff. So I'm in his office. I'm in Big Ed's office. And he's like, Richard, I can't believe what has happened with my partner. I can't go on tour and then come back, to have something like this. So that's not. So you see, what you see on the screen isn't necessarily the way it was in real life, especially these over-the-top people who turned out to be very intelligent. Phyllis Diller was a concert pianist. Do you know she was a genius? She was a brilliant woman. Phyllis Diller. You think, she's on. No, she was a genius.
Yep.
And very talented. Well, you'd never know that from seeing her do her crazy stuff. You wouldn't know. But yeah, so somebody like Stephen Fetchit, that stuff is very offensive. And that's probably why they don't show. TCM might show it because they show everything. But yeah, I understand and I respect that. But it's sad because you're right. The families aren't getting what they. But you know what? That stuff didn't really come into play until years later. They probably wouldn't have gotten anything unless they probably signed the right. When they signed a contract in the film, they signed the rights away. It's
the Cisco Kid, they're not showing it very much anymore because they say it's racist. And yet,
you froze.
Mexican actors.
Well, Leo Carrillo donated a whole
Carrillo and Duncan Ronaldo. They were actually Mexican actors, unlike Zorro, which used white actors, except one guy, to portray Mexican actors.
Yeah, but if you're Mexican or you're whatever race you are, and you say, "Oh, sí, señor," that's racist. That's why they don't show Speedy Gonzalez anymore on the cartoons. It's racist. You can't. And you know what? There was Luca was the name of the movie. It's an animated film. I think it was Disney or Pixar animated thing, and it's supposed to be in Italy. So you got the chef with the hat and the mustache. He does not say, "What's the matter for you? A pasta fazola, mancha." Nobody was doing that. Everybody speaks clearly because that too is a stereotype. And actually, one of my songs tonight has some of that in it.
Well, like the latest Mario Brothers movie. Neither Mario or Luigi do not have Italian accents.
Okay, yeah, you got to be conscious of some of that stuff.
But there are people from Italy that sound like that.
Yes.
I'm not saying everybody sounds like that, but there are some people. It's the people from where our parents or grandparents came from, Arkansas.
They talk
like that.
Hey, let me tell you something. Ding! I'll tell you something, boy. Don't come around here no more.
And everybody makes fun of Southerners, but
yeah. Well, my mother was born in Arkansas, so she was a little girl from Little Rock, and that's a true story.
Our mother was born in Greenwood, which is
right
near
Fort
Little Rock.
Smith.
Yeah,
all right.
But I want to point out to my friends who are messaging me, I recognize that we're three white people and we're sitting here talking about these issues. And
so
no, listen, I've done my research.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not condoning any of this.
No.
But I know why it's taken out because it is racist.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning any. I'm not saying, you know what? It was just the time. They did so what? They didn't do anything wrong.
That's okay.
No, I'm not that guy. I totally get it. And I've done my research on it. I know, so I totally understand and I respect that. But you want to know why they don't do it? It's because of that. Now, if I do this song tonight, which is Josephine, Please No Lean on the Bell, that's Eddie Cantor. I'm going to give a disclaimer before that. I'm going to say, listen, this song has this. And, I don't sing it a lot. I'm singing it. And I'll say, this is, you may want to understand, you turn off the thing if you want. It's not that bad. I'm just saying. But it's got that, it's got that in there, so it could be a lot worse. Hey, I've changed a lot of the songs I sing. I put in different words. I put in different, because, why upset anybody? Why say, I have the right to sing that because it's the First Amendment. I don't care if you're upset. No. Because I'd like to keep my audience, I don't want to piss off my audience.
Yeah.
I want people to like this and say, oh, that's great. That reminds me of an old movie. That reminds me of the Michigan Frog, this kind of thing.
Now,
so
I agreed that having me come out and pretend to have an Italian accent, that's not right. But if I videotape someone who genuinely speaks like that, I don't think that's racist. That's
not. If somebody really is talking like that, that's not. But you have to understand too. Satire goes back to forever in show business and theater, and every race. The Jews. How do you talk? I'm one of the Jews. Listen, I got 2 strikes against me. I'm a gay Jew. That's as bad as you can get. And it's like you get. Everybody was like, oh, honey, I want to get. There's tons of that. There was years ago, and they look at that, make it fun. There's the Jewish, everybody's got a big nose, and they're rubbing their hands together because they're Shylock, and so and Asian people, everybody had that was all the way. They're still doing that to some extent, but everybody was getting nailed, and with women. Everybody makes fun of women. They say, "Oh, look at her," and it's everybody is getting it, and it's not right to do it. And it's funny that years later you look back and you say, "Why were they doing that?" Yeah. Because that's look. We as people, how many like Melody, Mark, anybody watching, how many of us have looked back on things we did 20 years ago, things we said? Things I said last year. And I said, why in heaven's name did I say that? That was an awful thing to say. Or why did I say that when I was 8? And I still remember how horrible it was that I said. And, you just, if you have the knowledge that you get as you grow, and mature. Hopefully you mature. You don't keep yourself in the same nutty thing. And you look back and say, what the hell? That's the same as this. You say, I don't understand why they're doing this. It's an old movie, but I don't get it. Why would they have to do Eddie Cantor, in fact, who was a champion, and so was Jolson, actually, of African Americans. He opened a lot of doors for them. Eddie Cantor had some movie he had, and I forget the name of the movie. They had this African American jazz band. They were fantastic in the movie, and the lady singer, they had them dressed up like, Ooga Booga Jungle with the bones, and I was saying, what the hell is this? Why can't you put these people in suits and look nice and spit and polish like the Nicholas brothers?
Yes.
They never were dressed in caricatures. They were always in suits and white tie and tails, and we all knew Fayard and nicest man alive. But that's how it should have been. Let these people do what they do. Not, if you want to be in the movie, we got to let, people won't go to it if you're dressed nice.
Yeah.
I hate all that stuff. I want everyone who is listening to I'm not a racist, for God's sake. Who am I to be yeah, you see this? That's a brick was hit. I got hit with a brick. So yeah, I bear the scars. So yeah, I ain't no racist. I'm for everybody's cause that's downtrodden.
Exactly. Everybody is. I mean, the very tiny amount of idiots out in the world, and
they're getting more and more.
And
more
they're
and
on
more.
TV.
They're on TV. They're also, I'm not going to say where they are, but
they're
there too.
Now we're at we are at the top of the hour. So, real quickly, what's your pick for Best Picture?
Well, that's a tough one because there's so many great ones there. I don't have a clue I can't say, oh, this was by far the best. I mean, The Whale was so good. Maybe that'll be, I don't know. Best actor, as I said, was Brendan Fraser. Best actress, I can't say. I've seen some good supporting performances, but it's going to be a tough race this year. It's not always this tough. And this is going to be a tough race. So we'll all be surprised the night of the show. And I trust there won't be any shenanigans this year.
Oh,
like last year, which was horrendous.
Nobody slap anybody else, please.
No.
Hey. Well, the vomit that came out of his mouth before the slap was disgusting. And you know what? That ruined the whole rest of the evening. And Liza Minnelli was supposed to be getting a special award. She's not a well woman.
Yeah, that's right.
And they put her, everybody backstage said, oh, she's not supposed to be reeled out. That ruined that moment for her. And she is so deserving of it because she is a legend. And they ruined it because of that situation.
So many of those actors, they get that special, like Charlie Chaplin. I don't know if you recall, they did that for him at the Academy Awards. And
they brought him back and everybody gave him a stand. He didn't start saying, blah, 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 blah. No, he was grateful. He was thankful, and thank you so much. He was gracious, but he was a gentleman about it. He had this checkered past with this and this. But when he got that, he conducted himself like a gentleman.
In that moment, yeah.
Yeah,
okay, Mark, I'm sorry.
Well, my comment about the movies, the only one I know of, I hear that the dark horse for the best picture is Women Talking.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a great film. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
People are suggesting that that's going to win. I would like to see Tom Cruise get his Top Gun Maverick, but that's never going to win.
No.
There's a same person.
I don't know how it got nominated. How did they ever get that movie nominated?
How did they get it made?
You know how?
Hey, listen.
You know how?
Everything is about sequels. Melody, it's all about the sequels. Come on, they're going to bring a sequel to something else. Melody, in the chat room, how many people are giving their picks? Do you notice more than others in the names of the film?
They've got The Whale is certainly very popular. So is my pick, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for Michelle Yeoh. Although I'm sure Frances McNorm. I can never say her last name.
Hold on. Wait, open the chat again.
I just clicked on it accidentally. Sorry.
What did I tell you? Stop touching. You're going to break it. What are you going to do with this boy?
See here.
I'll tell you.
Here we go. Wait, hold on. Kim Hall. Thanks, Melody, Mark, and Kim Hull. Hello, Kim Hull. Thanks, Melody. Yeah, put the chat.
Well, that's the only one.
I get them over here on my Facebook.
I'm supposed to be on the same account, but for some reason it doesn't.
Yeah, you got banished, I'm sure. He's my brother.
Okay, we better get out of here, or we're gonna get yelled at.
We're gonna get yelled at. All right, guys. We had a great time as always. We'll see you next month, and everybody else have a great week. See the movies. There are good movies out there. The only bad movie is the one you haven't seen.
That's right. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here.
Come back soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.